Hello, you hominoids. I've got somebody here with me. Go on, tell me who it is.
G'day, it's Chris here.
The guy who was on the live chat with me, who I hadn't seen for 17 years, correct?
Yep.
There you go. Now he tells me I even gave him driving lessons. No, it wasn't a train, it was a car. Anyway, we're at MURWILLUMBAH. Yes, so Mr. Hominoid, he made it all the way up in MURWILLUMBAH. Now what are we looking at? See, this is called Gladys Berejiklian's sex toy.
Yeah.
And look, it even comes with its own built-in cactus, right? So that's Gladys' sex toy. Sorry, no, not Gladys. I should say Nick Griner. That to me is a Nick Griner sex toy, right? You can go play with that, right? What this was, see that piece of wood just there? Right?
Yeah.
Right. Why do you think it's shaped like that?
A ramp.
Exactly right. The carriage would roll in there with the cars on it.
Yep.
Couple onto that so they wouldn't move. They flip the steel tray down on that side of the piece of wood, and then the car tyres would run down off there. And then over here, see these big bolts?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the big car ramps were hooked on.
Right.
And the two big ramps went down to there, and they come all the way down to here. A big concrete slab. And then they drive up to here, and this was the wash bay. And this is where the guys would be standing wearing their stubby football shorts, washing the cars of the soot off the steam engines, or off the 442 locomotives or 42 class locomotives or whatever. So there you go. So now you know how Mr. Hominoid knows that? Because I lived it. I was here when it was here. Righto, let's go. There we go. Now, anybody doesn't know, Chris loves doing this, don't you, Chris?
Right.
You love doing this. Right, why's that big pipe there? What is it? It's a water pipe.
Water pipe.
To fill up the water to all the sleeping bird carriages. Right, so there's a platform, and we'll do a big zoom up there. And that was extended because of all the amount of carriages come up here with the, come on, we'll go for a walk down, don't hurt your feet, with all the carriages on the Gold Coast Motorway. Exactly right, man does know his stuff. So it looks good seeing you after 17 years, 18 years or whatever it was, and it still drives like a maniac. Oh God, you know, wasn't a lottery, girls. He's available. We'll try and sell him off. I haven't changed, have I? No, it's still the same. Still the same personality, just got older. Right, now I say to people, MURWILLUMBAH is 935 kilometres exactly from Central. Now, that's 0.949. So it's the actual mileage, see, 969. I don't know what they're doing here, but it's supposed to be down here somewhere, 935. Unless somebody's covered it up, but that's the old one. There's a 935. Well, it's a bloody signpost. No, yeah, it was. It was a bloody signpost. There it is. That's it there. That's the old signpost. Somebody's cut it off. That was 935. I got a photograph of that. Somebody's taken it. See, that's exactly what that is, 935. There, anyway. Yeah, so this is it. So we're going to I'm going to pause you. We need to come back way down there at the turntable. Now, anybody want a drink? That's the old water tank with the steam engines. And they were here when I was a kid. I'm going to show my age now, aren't I? Coming? Come back to you when we get down there. Now, Chris is having a bit of fun here. Right. This is the outside head of the rail. It's dead flat. And then it goes flat because it's been worn down. And that's a round shimmy on the shoulder. So that's where the wheel flange has worn it down. Now you said this track was laid when?
Well, 1893, 1894. About 1894.
1894. So that makes it 126 years old. So hard to think a guy sat there 126 years ago and done up that nut and bolt. Right? Now, I'll show you something else. See the depth of the rail? Anybody know what the depth of the rail is? It's the height of the rail. Right?
Yep.
That's a light gauge rail. Right? The average pound line heavy gauge rail is 96 to 112 kilo per metre. This is only 72 per metre. Right? Now how I'll do it for a demo is I'll put my foot there on top of the, where's a bit of rail, without a leaf on it. And then later on I'll do another video somewhere else and you see it's not very high at all. Look, see? It's not very high at all. Because this here, they're all 40-foot lengths and they come out from England, from Sheffield, England. And they're 40-foot lengths because that was the size of the whole HULL in the ship.
Wow.
And then when you go down to Crabs Creek, there's a road called Hull's Road. It's just a coincidence, but it's not a reason. Anyway, we're going to come back down there at the turntable. Now this is another bit of what we call people that want a souvenir. So there's two bolts there. On this one they've been taken. Because people come out here and they're going to take the rail. Now what's the bet? I'll come down here, hoping this is not true. Here's an old one you haven't seen before. An old pin bar. See them?
Yep.
Look how old that is. The timber's even gone. See? That's a pin bar lock. See, it goes underneath. It goes underneath the rail, comes out, swings around through there, and then that ties down and goes down into the track. There used to be a railway sleeper there. It's gone. It's rotted away. So that one there, see, it's gone. There's your drainage stitch, so you've got to watch out for that. And here we are on the turntable of life. Now, see, somebody's been out here. Now this is how people get hurt. You watch. And that is why that should be locked. There, go on. Now watch. Go on. Walk on it.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. Now I'll get off. You get off. Come on quick before the memory runs out. No, get off over there inside. Right, up you go. See, comes up. Now hop on it. You see the distance it travels? Yeah. A woman was up here with a little kid. He had his finger in there one day. It wasn't for me walking up saying, hey, hey, hey. Now there's a hole in the middle of this floor. That's why you don't go over there. See that big thing there?
Yep.
Someone's put that on there because there's a hole there. See, that's original decking. It's full of holes. Same as over there. See that's got a hole around the seam? So this here, you shouldn't even be up here. But just that I know that this side here is safe. Right? But if I walked on that, let's see if that bends. See, I stand on the main cross beam. No, it's still holding me weight. See that flexion? That's what I do. This is what I do for a job. See? And there's the other one. It's not quite exactly the same. See, it's off centre?
Yep.
That's so the train does not run off the edge of the rail, because then the wheel hits that. Oh, safety device. Right? And look, and some idiot has bent the handrail, the handle. Mate, don't worry about it. They just put a bit of heat into it, they straighten it up. Don't play with it. All you're going to do is hurt yourself. Just leave it. Same big piece of steel. You notice how all the timbers are missing around, around the circle? I rotated this thing with a 600 class train, which is the one down there at Byron Bay, because they used to run up here from Casino to MURWILLUMBAH. Then they took them down from Central down to Kiama, down to Bomaderry before they electrified it. Then they used them from Wollongong down to Bomaderry, and then they also used them between Richmond and Riverstone. The same diesels that ran up here, the 600 class, 700 class diesels as they call them, which is the Byron Bay solar power train driven by Neil and Colin, or whatever his name is. Hey, what'd you do that for? Righto, so that's that one. Anyway, we're going to go find a marker. Come back to you in a minute. I'll show you what vandalism is. Now here's another example, me teaching Chris. So this rail here is very well worn. So that's flat. It's meant to have a dome on it. But it's also newer because it's got a concrete sleeper with this spring pin sort of system on it. Where is it? There it is. That's the 1980s, 1970s upgrade. Now over here, this is your main line. Now, can you see the height of the rail again? I'll put my shoe back there again. Can you see the difference in height, people? It's a much bigger rail. See, it's much bigger? Now, where is that gap in the rail? See if you know that answer to that one.
Don't know.
What's it been doing? It's been raining.
Yeah. Expansion.
And?
Contraction.
Contraction. That's right. Exactly right. So that's contraction because it's been raining here. People, there's water everywhere. See? It's cold. And no, it doesn't feel cold. It's actually a little bit warm, but that's only due to the heat coming up from the ground.
How hard is this rail? These rails? How hard are rails?
Well, these rails have been 196 to 114 kilos per metre. Not pounds, kilos per metre. Or whatever. There's all different size gauge. That is bigger than that.
Yep.
And that is smaller again.
Yeah.
And that up there is the original.
Yep.
So you've got 4 different size rails all in the one area. Anyway, we're going to go for a walk back up here. We'll come back up here at MURWILLUMBAH train station. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Get your camera going. Hope I don't run out of my memory. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Told you I've been in Woomba. Anyway, and there's MURWILLUMBAH train station. And get this, they put that ramp in 2 years before they closed the station. Isn't that brilliant? This is so-called Rail Trail's great idea that they want to...
Bastards.
Rail Trail, you can't say that. Hang on.
Wreck track.
Wrecker Trail, yeah. This is their dangerous idea. Look, Rail Trail is letting people put that up. See? I'll let you work out what all that there means. If you know what that there means, you tell me if you know what it means.
Yes.
RF.
RF.
Rail, something. 71.5 inches. How long ago was that written? Oh man, that's back in 1965. See? Fill up the gap because what used to be there? Something else. See? 1.58 RF. Rail to platform. 1 metre, 0.185. Look, put your arm out and pass your elbow. It's just over 1 metre. You get it now?
What's the F sample?
I'll let you work it out. Give you a clue. Facial. Don't you love it when you teach somebody something? Yes. Careful, kids listen to this.
Next print's up here.
Anyway, we'll walk up here and we'll go on pause. I don't film private businesses on public railway stations. Well, that's a very interesting thing. Oh, look at that. There's the old drain there. Yes, apparently they sell their push bikes, and they got $700-800. And they sell coffee when somebody does stop there to have a coffee, which is not very often. And he might rent a bike out twice a week if he's lucky. So in other words, if he wasn't staying on the railway station premises, if he still had to pay rent for the shop they used to rent. I lost him. Hey, Maria. If they, in my driver, he's over here in the bush. He's trying to work something. I've got to go see what he wants. He used to rent a shop in the main street of MURWILLUMBAH, this push bike shop. And my mate over here gets a bit upset because he doesn't like them because they're the ones that want to rip up all this train track up here at MURWILLUMBAH. So I just played the dumb naive guy. And, yeah, what are you looking at? You found it. Oh, come on. Put your big smiley face around it. Give it a big hug. Come on, put your finger on it. There you go. Get your finger off the 9. Don't molest my number 9. See, 935 kilometres from Sydney. See, I told you I was right. And then we are right there. But there's the end of the platform over there. But somebody moved it, because that used to be down there. That was never ever here. See, someone's moved that. You know why I know that? See the height of it? Yeah. And look here. You can tell where they hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Is that hit by a hammer? Let's see, have a look on the camera. Look, I'm not as tall as you. I'm only a little short ass compared to you. I reckon somebody's moved that. Because I got a photo, that old pole down there with the water tank behind it. With that 935 down there. Somebody's moved it. I reckon they've cut that off and they replanted it. Because that used to be loose. And that's not loose anymore. So someone's replanted it. Anyway, so the young guy down there was just telling me, oh, that's a steel sleeper there, by the way, people. If anybody wants to notice in the background, oh, look, there's a steel sleeper there. Yeah, they did bring some steel sleepers up here in the last years on the MURWILLUMBAH railway line section. He was telling me that they only ran out 1 or 2 bikes a week. They've got a coffee shop, but they don't sell any coffee to anybody because nobody's ordering it because of COVID-19. And they hardly sold any bikes, and they've only been there for 6 months. So, in other words, they're not making any money. They've been here now for 6 months. So imagine if they still had to pay rent like every other business does in town in MURWILLUMBAH to a landlord. they would have to file for bankruptcy or get all the government assistance. So what they've done, they used rail trail to come down here to get into the building, to get free rent under the name of rail trail, so they can still run their money-making business. And they're going to try and cash in on all this, the taxpayer-owned railway line. Even though it's been closed, disused, it doesn't mean that the people still don't own it. You see what they're doing? They're manipulating the government under Gladys, and she never said, I gave them 13 million, because if she gave them $13 million, where is it? Can you see $13 million worth of work?
No.
No. She said we allocated, which means it's on the books.
The federal government did too.
That's right. Allocated means they're saying, we will put this money here, we'll put that in your coffee tin, $13 million. When you give us paperwork and quotas that meet the logistical requirements for us to pay it. Now the government is not going to pay for them to rip up all the rails and dump them over here on the ground. The government wants the rails taken right away. Now that's either Nationals, Labor or Liberal, because it's called public liability. Now, if you take that rail from being an infrastructure rail,
Yes.
which it's now set as,
Yes.
it's been used as, that's called a fixed set line. Now if you cut that up into little tiny lengths and it's sitting up here and a kid climbs up on them and they fall down and smash his leg, the state government's going to get sued. So therefore then the state government will not let you touch any bit of rail until you have a contract that says rails, ballast, sleepers or spikes, then graded back down to topsoil. How much is that going to cost to do the 31 kilometres? Now people say it's 26, some people say 31.
24 kilometres.
Right, I put it down as 31 kilometres. Why? I'm the guy that inspects the train tracks.
Because of all the other tracks.
Exactly right.
The old.
You got 935 here, then we'll go down to Crabs Creek and we'll have the Crabs Creek video with the mileage there. You then take that mileage away from 935.000 plus the two tracks from here to the far end of McDonald's, way up there around the corner.
Yep.
So there's over another,
Plus the old section that used to go up to Condom Sugarville.
and that section as well. And you got all this track over here and the two tracks down there that go down to the turntable. So you can't say it's going to be 26 Ks, it's going to be 31 Ks times 2. So that's 62 kilometres of one single rail. And then don't forget, where there's a set of points, there's 4. You see the mathematics? Because you've got to measure from right there. That's the precise measurement. From where there, going that way on the left-hand rail to where it ends. And that gives you the true mileage of how much rail. Not what they think it is. It's got to be a fact.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it there from Mr. Hominoid up here at MURWILLUMBAH. See you later. So rail trail, I hope I gave you too much information. You already sunk yourself. Your own staff have already dobbed you in. They're not making any money. Nobody's renting any push bikes. Nobody's having any cups of coffee. Anyway, that's it there from me. See, look, see, thievery. See, somebody's already come in there and cut the pipe off, and then they cut it off there. You know what they do with it? They take it and put it in their farm. Well, why not? It's just sitting there. The government doesn't want it. That's what happens, people, when the government closes down a railway line under Nick Reiner and all the other Liberals. And of course, Labor didn't help because they were buried too far under and they didn't know what to do. See? steel sleeper, wood sleeper, steel sleeper, wood, wood, wood. So 3 out of 4 is wood. Then you've got steel. Then you've got wood, steel. Then you've got wood, steel. Then you've got wood, 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 steel. So that's what they call 4 in 1. Right? That's where the mileage marker used to be. Because that's where it was.
That's it.
And I've got the photograph of that with that there in the background. See you later from Mr. Hominid. See, you can't catch this old bastard. I've already done my homework. I've been doing it for here for the last 15 years. See you later. Bye.